Trying to read.
Hello everyone, this is Skylar Fisher, the North Coast Regional Land Trust intern. Again, joining you for another virtual outdoors series. And this week we are in Shea Park enjoying the lovely greenery and daylighted Jolly Giant Creek. I've seen a whole bunch of banana slugs today and I haven't seen them in a really long time, so I'm very excited. So it just goes to show that it is just wonderful spending time outdoors in the midst of this self-isolation and quarantine. And so for today's virtual outdoor series, we're going to be reading some nature poems from the Best Poems collection of the American people. And like last week, I really encourage everyone watching this to kind of step outside their houses, their homes, or their apartments and to kind of enjoy an outside space, because even if I wasn't reading this right now, just being out here is just so rejuvenating. So I really encourage that. So that being said, let us begin. We're going to start with My Garden is a Pleasant Place. My garden is a pleasant place of sun glory and leaf grace. There is an ancient cherry tree where yellow warbles sing to me, and an old grape arbor where a robin builds her nest, and there above the lima beans and peas she croons her little melodies, her blue eggs hidden in the green fastness of that leafy screen. Here are striped zinnias that bees fly far to visit, and sweet peas like little butterflies newborn, and over by the tasseled corn are sunflowers and hollyhocks, and pink and yellow 4 o'clocks. Here are hummingbirds that come to seek the tall delphinium, songless bird and scentless flowers, communing in a golden hour. There is no blue like the blue cup the tall delphinium holds up. No sky, nor distant hill, nor sea, sapphire, nor lapis lazuli. My lilac trees are old and tall, I cannot reach their bloom at all. They send their perfume over trees, in roofs and streets, to find the bees. I wish some power would touch my ear, with magic touch, and make me hear what all the blossoms say, and so I might know what the winged things know. I'd hear the sunflower's mellow pipe, Goldfinch, goldfinch, my seeds are ripe. I'd hear the pale wisteria sing, moon moth, I'm blooming. I'd hear the evening primrose cry, oh firefly, come firefly. And I would learn the jeweled word, the ruby-throated hummingbird drops into cups of larkspur blue, and I would sing them all for you. My garden is a pleasant place of morning glory and wind grace. O friend, wherever you may be, will you not come to visit me? Over fields and streams and hills, I'll pipe like yellow daffodils, and every little wind that blows shall take my message as it goes. A heart that may travel very far to come where its desires are. Oh, may some power touch my ear and grant me grace and make you hear. This is by Louise Driscoll. Our next poem is going to be Far from the Maddening Crowd. It seems to me I'd like to go where bells don't ring, nor whistles blow, nor clocks don't strike, nor gongs sound, and I'd have stillness all around. Not real stillness, but just the trees, low whispering, or the hum of bees, or brooks faint babbling over stones in strangely softly tangled tones, or maybe a cricket, or the songs of birds in the hedges hid, or just some such sweet sound as these, to fill a tired heart with ease. If 'tweren't for sight and sound and smell, I like the city pretty well. But when it comes to getting rest, I like the country lots the best. Sometimes it seems to me I must just quit the city's dim and dust and get out to where the sky is blue and say now, how does that seem to you? Nixon Waterman. That's definitely a reason why I came to Humboldt, to escape the cities and to enjoy the nice sounds of the nature. That's why we're here today, right? Our next poem is going to be The Path That Leads to Nowhere. There's a path that leads to nowhere, in a meadow that I know, where an inland river rises, and the stream is still and slow. There it wanders under willows, and beneath the silver green of the birches' silent shadows, where the early violets lean. Other pathways lead to somewhere, but the one I love so well had no end and no beginning, just the beauty of the dell. Just the windflowers and the lilies, yellow striped as adder's tongue, seem to satisfy my pathway as it winds their sweets among. There I go to meet the springtime, where the meadow is aglow, marigolds amid the marshes, and the stream is still and slow. There I find my fair oasis, and with carefree feet I tread, for the pathway leads to nowhere, and the blue is overhead. All the ways that lead to somewhere echo with the hurrying feet of the struggling and the striving, but the way I find so sweet bids me dream and bids me linger. Joy and beauty are its goal. On the path that leads to nowhere, I have sometimes found my soul. Corinne Roosevelt Robinson. Nature in itself is a bit of a path to nowhere, because you don't really go on nature walks to go anywhere, just to enjoy and rejuvenate yourself, like we're doing right now. Our next poem is Who Loves a Garden? Who loves a garden finds within his soul life's whole. He hears the anthem of the soil while in great toil, and sees beyond his little sphere the waving fronds of heaven clear. Louis Seymour Jones. That one was short and sweet for us. And here's our last poem of the day, Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine, and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a wonderful company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. By William Wordsworth. Well, thank you everyone who joined us today for our poetry reading. I've been meaning to break out this poetry book that I've had for quite some time, so I'm really excited that I got to share it with everyone in such a lovely space. This concludes our April series of the Virtual Outdoors, but we're going to be posting once again some more live streams in May, so please stay tuned for that. Also, make sure to tune in to other Facebook posts and events, as well as our Instagram, which is always updating and creating awesome content for you guys who support us here at the North Coast Regional Land Trust. And I'll see you next time.